Good evening to you, Patricia. Can you just take us through what's expected to take place with the tribute service this evening?
Well, good evening. As you can see, of course, the mood is really buzzing up here at the official home of the late Minister Edna Molewa. You can see ANC members are also coming in their numbers ahead of the much, of course, awaited visit by the ANC NEC that was supposed to actually visit the home by 12 o'clock earlier this afternoon, but of course rescheduled that particular meeting for 6:30 this afternoon. So any minute from now on, we'll probably start seeing the NEC members making their way to the Molewa home to come and pay tribute and of course come and pay their respects with the family. You can see, as I said, ANC members, we've been seeing a couple of cars coming, and even down the street we still see a whole lot of vehicles piling up, making their way here to the home. So that perhaps will be the activity that will continue for the rest of the evening here, as the ANC members will be making their way to the official home of the late minister to come and sympathize with the family, to come and pay their respects and so forth. Inside, we expect, of course, a evening prayer to take place. As per usual, it's been happening throughout the week leading up, of course, to the various memorial services that have been planned and the funeral that will take place next week, Saturday. So a lot of activity, and we expect the mood to remain this high, of course. Also very somber mood that continues to prevail here at the home of the fallen minister. A lot of activity taking place, but I think, as I said, the main one is now that her senior colleagues coming together to come and, of course, put shoulder to the family and cry with them, sympathize with them, and so forth. We'll await the NEC members arriving here in their numbers. Of course, you would know that they're having an official meeting at the Irene, St. George's Hotel. From there on, they will be making their way. We have confirmed with one of the ANC officials that are here, and she told us that they are on their way. They will be arriving shortly here at the home. And I'm sure, seeing the activity also rolling out, it is a clear indication that they are on their way to come and pay their respects and pay tribute to the family of the late minister.
Definitely. Patricia, many ministers as well as work colleagues that had worked with the minister had always described the work ethic that she had and the contribution that she made in her working environment. But just from a personal perspective, have you been able to speak to any of the people in attendance this evening just to sort of gauge the person that Edna Molewa was and the legacy that she left behind? And of course, we're definitely seeing that with these tributes that continue to pour in.
Well, of course, throughout the week, we've heard many speaking very highly of the minister, and we've even heard some of her colleagues, her comrades, calling her a slave driver, saying that she was very hardworking. She was very particular and very focused on detail, and she made sure that she actually fine-combs everything that she worked on and worked with, and that's why she's actually one of the ministers you would remember in the former President Jacob Zuma's cabinet, who was never reshuffled, who never faced the chop, and that perhaps because of the role that she played, the pivotal role that she played in so many different roles that she really played. So really high tributes that came from different spheres, the academic world, some of the environmental experts that she worked very closely with, the labor fraternity. I mean, that interview that I had earlier with the former president of COSATU, Willie Madisha, who's now the deputy president of COPE, also really speaking of their close working relationship and some of the high points that she pushed for in the labor sector, and how she actually helped shape the labor sector in the country with some of the reforms that she contributed to. And on a personal level as well, she is described as a very good person, strong leader, a gallant fighter, and so forth. So everything that we've been hearing throughout this week really just paints a great picture of the fallen minister. And perhaps throughout this evening, when the NEC members arrive here, we'll be hearing similar tributes, we'll be hearing similar great stories. Earlier this week, here at this very same home, I was also speaking to various other leaders who work very closely with her. We spoke to the former SG of the ANC, Mr. Mantashe, who was also here to pay his respects. We spoke to the ANC Women's League President Bathabile Dlamini, and so forth. And we spoke to many leaders who've been here, and everybody gave high praise of the fallen minister. And that in itself means that it's a great loss to the country. But I think right now the focus falls on what will be done to preserve her legacy. What will be done to take all the knowledge and all the contributions that she has actually embedded in the country, and take that and move it forward for the youth to benefit, and really just continue to build the country on that knowledge, on the legacy that she leaves behind. So we'll bring you more updates in terms of what's happening here when the NEC members do arrive.
Thank you. We'll leave it there. Patricia Visagie for SABC News, of course, just taking us through that tribute service that will be taking place this evening for the late Minister Molewa.